Check this out. Hey, good morning. This is Chaplain Bailey. Yeah, so hey, I want you to invite you guys to become a part of the community because being a part of the community is important. Now, keeping it 100% with y'all, a lot of changes are happening. All right. Those of you know me, you know that. Look, shout out to all my military friends out there. Shout out to all of you. I appreciate you. Want to give you a horn of greatness. Let you know that I appreciate you. Let me see. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you sharing. So those of us in the military community, we have what we call PCS, and we change your duty station. So every so many years, depending on who you are and what you do in the military, you change every so often. And we're in the Pac Northwest right now. And I'm fitting to leave the Pac Northwest. Man, you guys can't see my, hold on. Let me get this for you. Hold on. Just don't go anywhere. Wait a minute. Listen to some music while you.
Coming after me. Got some issues with my worldview. I iron out the kinks. I ain't trying to be king. Crowns ain't the way to bring love. Soft touch, hard hands lead to backwards endeavors. These mans really think they worth can be summed up in a measure. Singing, bitch, I'm better. I get it. You gotta hold your.
You guys can see some of my background.
Did that. Been there.
But one of the things that happens is when you are in the military, let me make sure that all my settings are good. Hold on. Oh, it's off. Hold on, y'all. There you go. Oop, did that guy just cuss? Oop, sorry about that. Oops. Y'all don't. So anyway, this is what they call a rudis. And so when you are in the military, every so often you change your duty station. I mean, you change the place where you work. And oftentimes that includes moving the family, from place to place. And so this week is my week that I'll be leaving, guys. And so I'll be leaving the place I really enjoyed. I served as a chaplain there for 3 years. Absolute dedication is what that means. And so I'll be leaving them soon. And it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. I was actually out golfing with one of the guys from my unit today. We actually ran into each other. And I wasn't planning on golfing at all. We just ran into each other. He was like, hey, you want to golf? I'm like, sure. So anyway, changes happen, change is coming. The one thing that's constant in our lives is change. And the way that we adjust to change is go with the flow. Because if you don't go with the flow, you get lost in the sauce. You become discombobulated, okay? If you ever been discombobulated by change, do you deal with change? I don't know. Do you deal with change positively? If you do, just put a comment in the chat. Let me know. Hey, I deal with, maybe you deal with change in a positive way. Maybe you don't deal with change in a positive way. I'm not sure. But I definitely want you to keep that in mind, that change is something that is inevitably will happen. So how do you deal with change? Well, there's no absolute way that we can say, hey, this is how we deal with change emphatically. But one thing is sure, right? Having yourself rooted and grounded in something that's bigger than you, bigger than yourself, bigger than the situation you're going through is an important part of dealing with change. And I can be honest to tell you, like, I've had, to all of my audience, you guys are on the Words for Change podcast and private group. I appreciate y'all. These are friends, people that I know that have been a part of the community for a while. I just want to say thank you guys for being a part of the community. Thank you for supporting. I'm thinking about Art. I'm thinking about a few other people right now who've been a great support of our online. Good shout out to you, the Greatness Horn. So thank you for supporting. And so I want to say that a great part of change is being willing to go with the flow, being willing to have something that you're grounded in that keeps you when everything else around you is changing. And for me, that's my family. That's my wife and my kids. That's my my grandkids. Those things keep me grounded, right? Those things keep me grounded. So if you don't have anything that keeps you grounded that you deal with change, it's hard to deal with change. And that's the truth. So the Bible says God is like a shifting shadow. God is not like a shifting shadow. God is a constant. So for me as a religious person, having God in my life helps me to stay grounded when things are out of control or when things are going not the way I want them to go. So if you are a person who you don't have that in your life, I definitely want to encourage you to do that. But here's another great part of change. You got to embrace the people that are around you, right? You got to embrace the people that are there to love and support you as they go through change with you. So if I was making this live, I would say if I was making this live stream for military personnel, I'm going to say this to you, okay? You have got to accept the fact that part of your job is to be flexible. You're going to move. We call it semper gumby, right? You're going to move every so often. So what do you do when you're changing so often as military personnel? Number one, when at your new duty station, you got to find a community that your people can be a part of, that your family can be a part of. If you're a religious person, I would say you got to find a church. If you're not a religious person, then it doesn't have to be a church. It can be a focus group. It can be a small group that you guys hang out with together once a week. You gotta have that group that provides consistency for your family when you are in and out, going back and forth. Okay, so that's an important part. So if I were to label this, I would say the three most important things for military families during PCS season. Number one, you gotta, as you go to your next duty station, think about what community you're gonna plug yourself and your family into, if you have a family, or yourself, if it's just you. Number two, I would say that you have to have emergency contacts. Like you got to have people that you can count on if car breaks down, house is not working right, plumbing gets backed up. These things are important. So number one, you got to have a community. I would say a church. I would say a study group. I would say a book club. I would say a basketball group you hang out. That's important for you if you're PCSing. Number two, I would say you need someone that's going to help you in emergency contact. This is when it's important for you to get out and talk to your neighbors. Go knock on the door. Go say hi to people. Like when you're PCSing, you need to have a relationship with your neighbors who can help you when you go out of town, when something breaks down. Very, very important. Then I think number three, a third important element that you can add to your PCS dynamic is that you want to have somebody that you can talk to when things are not going the way you want them to. So that could be a pastor, a therapist, a counselor. All of these things I think are important for you when you're PCSing. Now, let me just say this as I wrap up. I want to say to all of my military personnel, this PCS season, I wish you all the best. You guys are heroes. Be safe out there. You're driving back and forth on the road. You're moving equipment. Your family is transitioning. Man, it's a really, really tough part. It can be exciting because we're going to a new billet. We're going to a new duty station, and we don't quite know, how it's going to go. Some of us, it may be a duty station that we've been to before for the more senior enlisted personnel or officers. But then there's some of us, we're going to a new duty station in a new community, new area. And I'm telling you, for you guys, listen, if you have a military, a friend who's in the military active duty, I'm telling you, being able to be in one place for a long period, for over like 4 or 5 years, if you have a family, is golden, because it creates consistency if there are kids involved, so they can have friendships, so on and so on. But if you're by yourself, it's important to have people around you that you can count on, that you have therapists, pastors, all of these different pieces and element that are critical when you're going through these different kind of changes from duty station. So yeah, you're going to a new community, new area. Man, these things are important. So I want to encourage you to reach out to Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. I want to encourage you to reach out to Fleet and Family Support. Hopefully you have a sponsor, somebody out there who from the command you're going to, that you've been in communication with, who can help you through that transition as well. And hopefully your housing situation is put together. So realtors, maybe I'll put a link down in the chat. So if you want me to put a link down, just put it in the chat when you're watching this. And I'll just put a link down for maybe like, you can look at Zillow, renters.com, some of these websites that could help you as you're going from one duty station to the next. So I want to say this. So for the month, because I'm transferring from one duty station to the next, the month of July, I will not be doing any podcasts. So we're going to take a break in the month of July so I can get set up, and we're going to come back in the month of August. So I may still do some lives here and there. It just depends on how my schedule, because we're actually, stop making one stop in transit before we get to our final place on the West Coast. So we're moving back and forth, and it just doesn't create stability. So this whole set that you see is going to change. When I come back in August, everything is going to look different. So this Sunday, I'm going to do one live stream, and it's going to be a tour of my space. So I'm going to show you my lights. I'm going to show you everything behind the scenes. So this Sunday, Lord says the same, at 3:00, that's 1500 military time. I'm going to show you what I've been working with. And that comes as shout out to JP High Tech, who said, man, you should do that. So if you're a pastor, chaplain, friend who's interested in live streaming, man, I can get you connected. I can give you all the bells and whistles. Definitely want to encourage you to watch the live stream. Okay. So, hey, like I said, again, for the month of July, we will not be doing any lives for the most part. Podcast is going to take a break. So this message is going to be on our podcast. We're going to take a break for the month of July. And then in August, we'll come back strong in August, maybe the first or second week of August. I'll let you know. I'm still going to be interacting. If I get a chance to come on live, I try to keep the time the same for consistency. So I'll still come on Wednesday for 15 minutes. I'm already past my 15 minutes. So, but anyway, I come on Wednesday, then I'll come on Sunday as well. Just a few minutes. But as me and my family move and transition, we're going to be trying to get set up, and I can't do both. So I have limited bandwidth. You understand what I'm saying? So I need to focus my time and energy on getting my family situated and settled before I engage in this. And then my new job and finding out everything that goes along with that. So once again, for the month of July, my live streams and my podcast is going to take a break, but then we're going to come back in August. Now, again, you may see me pop up here and there for a live if I get some free time, but I definitely want to encourage you to just keep a lookout. My public Facebook page will have stuff out there. And then for the group, hey, I'm still going to be connecting and interacting through a private Facebook group. So if you want to interact with the private Facebook group, just go down and join the Facebook group. Words for Change podcast is there. You can check us out on YouTube as well. So on my YouTube community, you can join the private group page as well. Hey, a lot of transition, a lot of changing, but change. The one thing that is constant in our life is change. All right. So, hey, that's going to be it for tonight. I've gone past my time. Thank you for your patience. So let me bless you before I go, family. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord cause his wonderful face to shine upon you. May you experience peace in this life and in life to come, from this time and evermore. Y'all be good, okay? We'll talk to you soon.